This is not new news. As a matter of fact, we've been aware of the attempt to indict President, former President Donald Trump for quite a while. Why he's being indicted, supposedly, allegedly, over some misconduct, according to some people's standards, that occurred many years ago with Stormy Daniels, prostitute, and her being paid allegedly hush money before he started running his presidential campaign, so that it would not tarnish his reputation and or his ability to become president at the time. First of all, that's a civil issue. It's a private slash personal issue between Donald Trump and whoever the woman was many years ago. And it's interesting, very interesting to me, how many politicians have done the like. They've done the same thing or similar things, and even worse things, more and more even heinous crimes in office. Some have been caught, some who have been caught have gone to jail, but a minuscule amount. But most politicians are not honest people in the first place. So all of these allegations about Russian collusion and tampering with the votes and so forth, these things that have been thrown at Donald Trump, didn't seem to gain any real ground. So they had to go with the civil issue. And they're trying to indict a former president. But in my estimation, Donald Trump is not going to jail. He's not going to see one day in anyone's jail or prison, for that matter. And you might ask the question, why do I think this? Well, first of all the politicians are woven together. They all know something about one another that they keep secret. That's one. And number two, it would be very obvious that there's a witch hunt to keep him from becoming the president of the United States again, because he doesn't want to play ball. Not according to the puppet master's dictates. You see, he's not going to jail because he was the president. And he knows some stuff. He knows a lot of things, actually. And when you're in a position of power like that, you have to walk circumspectly. You have to walk pretty carefully and be very, very careful how you form your words, what you leak out, what you say, and to whom you're saying it to. How does the expression go? Keep your friends close, keep your enemies closer. Hello. There's a whole lot of snakes and vipers, if you will, in our governmental system. And you don't know who to trust. I know former President Trump doesn't know who to trust. And people that he thought was an ally even turned against him. So, it's interesting. Why spend so much time, so much money in an attempt to try to indict a former president, which is unprecedented, It's never happened like this on this level before. Why is it that they don't want him to be president? I just alluded to it. He doesn't want to play ball. You see, the president of the United States doesn't run the country. In case you didn't know that. Bankers do. Major corporations run this country. As a matter of fact, that's who runs the world. Presidents are only figureheads, giving the appearance that they're running the country. But there's a puppet master, someone who sits in the shadows, who's directing them. And Trump found this out. If he didn't know it before he became president the first time, he found it out while he was president. They thought that he was going to be part of the good old boy program and do everything that they wanted him to do lockstep. Not so. Humanism came into play at some point. Not to say that he's not a possible flawed man as it relates to politics, but humanism came into play, and he didn't want to play the game all the way. He just happened to be the president who had a little bit of consciousness, a little bit of empathy. How much, I can't measure it, but he had a little bit. And they don't want that. They want someone who plays the game 100% all the way. And they realized that he was not that person that they thought he was initially. And when he said that the media was crooked, he spoke the truth. It's very obvious because he's been slandered back and forth for a year longer now. He has. And since he has let the world know that he's running again for president, they're pouring it on even heavier because they don't want somebody who's not going to comply, who's not going to follow the rules according to the puppet master. That's why they put so much attention on him right now. That's why they're putting so much heat on him right now. But he's done a good job at withstanding so far. Now, he's popular, very popular, and even his approval ratings have gone up. But you just cannot easily dismiss a sitting president or a former president and it not go unnoticed that you have a motive or an agenda for doing so. A real agenda. So, he was the president. That's one of the main reasons he won't be indicted. It wouldn't look good on America's resume. It just wouldn't. In America's portfolio for the future. So, I don't think he's going to jail. But he's gone through a lot. They've ridiculed him. They've embarrassed him, his family, but they've stood strong thus far. And even though I don't believe that there is an ideal candidate for America's presidency, I believe that he would be a better candidate than who we have now and any potential one that's considering running. That's just my take. Do you think that former President Trump is going to jail? And in addition to that, do you also think that he could potentially make it back into the White House? And if so, what will it take? That was it. And that was all. Please comment below. Have a nice day.